Welcome to the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite provides you with all the resources you need to become a successful author. You can learn more about Authors Unite and join the free community at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner, and today I have Chase Lawson with us. He's an account executive for Oracle. So welcome to the show, Chase.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Thanks for joining us, and we will dive in. The first question that I have for you is, what's the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
Yeah, so I'd definitely say, during college, I had an opportunity to take on a couple different internships through both Northwestern Mutual and Young Entrepreneurs Across America. And, there was a lot of uncertainty there. Both of them were structured as more of a commission payout system based on how well I did as in sales at the companies. And had a lot on my mind as far as trying to decide which one to take. And ultimately, I decided to take on both and kind of see what both opportunities would lead to, and had a lot of success with both. So kind of the message behind that is that don't be afraid to take on risks, and sometimes, scary things can be good.
And what's the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
Yeah, so business is always changing, and if you're in sales, you run through a lot of no's, a lot of rejection, but no doesn't always mean no forever. No means no right now. New businesses are always coming into play, and business is always changing and growing, and new people are always coming into companies. Companies are being bought out and acquired. So don't be afraid to reach back out down the road, find new contacts to reach out to, wait for an underlying event to happen within the business.
And it might tie in, but what's your best piece of overall business advice, so not necessarily industry specific?
Overall advice would just be to stay humble and stay hungry. Don't be afraid to reach out and learn from others, but also stay aggressive and don't be afraid to set some lofty goals and work hard to achieve them.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
Definitely don't sweat the small stuff. There was a lot of things that I thought were the biggest issues in the world back in the day, but kind of looking at it in a broader scale, they were very insignificant in the grand scheme of things.
And in your opinion, what is the key to happiness?
I'd say give no fucks. There's going to be people and situations in your life that.
That's awesome. Sorry. Great answer.
Yeah. Well, basically, there's going to be people that aren't always going to like you, and situations aren't going to always go your way, but it's about picking yourself up from those situations and moving on and surrounding yourself with people who you want to be involved in, who are going to get you to where you're trying to go.
And what is the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
Yes, this is a hard question for me. I've read a lot of good books over the last couple of years. It's been one of my goals to read more. So, but I'd say Hal Elrod's The Miracle Morning was a pretty good one. And if you know Hal's story, he's kind of been through a lot. But the message that I took from it was that it really does nothing to get mad at external forces. Things are going to happen to you. And if you worry too much about the past, it's not going to get you to the future. So put everything behind you, whether you had a good day or a bad day, that's in the past. How can you make the next day a great day?
And what is your favorite quote and why?
So it's from a good friend of mine who actually passed away a few years ago, and it's, do not let it cross your mind that you do not have what it takes to pursue your dreams. That's from my friend Kendall Wernette. And it means a lot to me just from a personal standpoint. We were pretty close. He was my mentor at Young Entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. But, what I say from it is that you have to always be pushing yourself towards your goals and ambitions and not letting yourself get stable.
Yes, man. Thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate it. And the last question I have for you before we let you go is, where's the best place for people to find you online?
Yes, they can find me on LinkedIn. It's just Chase Lawson, or any of my social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. They can find me at ClemsonFan92.
Perfect. And I am a Gamecocks fan, so I do not like that. So, just kidding. Thank you so much again for coming on, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.